So this was given to me, QRD Maestro S3. It's a wireless fighting game controller for PS4, PS3, Switch, PC, iOS, Android, and Xbox 360. You might hear the cat in the background. It's okay. Y'all been used to it at this point. This is the levers that I'm gonna unbox. Hopefully the camera can zoom in on it. It zoomed out on me, but this is the Maestro. This is the back of the box. So here's the thing. This is the first wireless arcade stick that I have, which is weird because usually wireless stuff, I have this whole thing that like wireless stuff can get interference, it can mess up. Wireless arcade stick, that sounds scary. That's what I'm saying. It does sound scary. It also has X input and D input. It says at the bottom. So primarily, these unboxings are gonna be loud and creaky, so be prepared. Again, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Not all of y'all are subscribed, and it'd be lovely to have y'all on board with the Yaya gang and the Cabbage Men. Make sure y'all check out the Twitch. We get lit and we do things like this. That is all. Let's continue. The inside smell amazing. It smells fire, like that new vacuum smell, bro. When you buy something from Best Buy, you see how it doesn't move? Like I'm doing this, it doesn't move out the paper. Pretty gas. Okay, so this is the filling off rip. This is the QRD one. Hey. It looks clean. This is a leverless. People that don't know, pretty clean. Nice little weight. It's little press buttons. I want to hear the sound. It sounds like, you know, in the old cartoons when they run it. They clicky. They do have. They don't have keyboard click, but it has like, you know how PlayStation buttons feel? They feel like better PlayStation buttons. That's the best way I can explain it. Like now, I can tell you something I already don't like. Well, I got a dock points off of it already. Do you prefer mechanical or default buttons? This is my Razer Kasune. Hearing, I like the noise it makes. A lot of people don't, but I love the noise that they make because it makes me feel like I'm actually hitting a button. You hear these? I think these are more mechanical. These are mechanical. So I might prefer mechanical more. I really have to dock points off of this. See how small the L3 and R3 buttons is? Bro, just put them like, make big L3 and R3 buttons on y'all arcade sticks. That is my biggest frustration. Like, that pisses me the hell off a lot. I hate when they do that. Like, it be tilting the hell out of me. What if people want map stuff to R3 and L3? That's what I'm saying, right? And the problem is a lot of companies, people that are making leverless controllers, they're going for the style instead of utility. Like make an L3 button up here, R3 button up here. That's cool. A sharing options button, turbo button. You know what we got to do on this channel, y'all. Y'all know I don't like doing it. Reading the damn instructions. SOCD. You also have SOCD rules. So you know like Capcoms with they up plus jump. That's a thing you can change. USB connection has priority over Bluetooth. This one is provided for tournaments and competitions where wireless connected controllers may not be allowed. Okay, I was about to say, that would have been crazy if this wasn't a thing. I'm not gonna bring no wireless controllers in no tournament. But now that we know we got a cable and stuff like that, it's worthwhile in those ways. Oh, this is a good feature. This is a good feature. I found a good feature on here. What if you wanted to play Devil May Cry, Spider-Man, Kingdom Hearts on this hoe? Well, the QRD Maestro S3 has the ability to change direction buttons and can be programmed to act as D-pad, left analog, or right analog controls. So you might not have an analog stick, a right analog stick, but you can make it, you can play these games, leverless controller right here. That's peak, I love that. We're gonna test it out on some games today. SOCD, you also have SOCD rules, so you know like Capcoms with they up plus jump, that's a thing you can change. Changes made to SOCD functions are saved and doesn't require readjustment to turn the console off. So that's a good thing. You don't have to always hit the SOCD modes when you're playing with stuff. So this controller fits everything. I think the only downside is just it might not inherently work on PS5. That is why, shout out to BROOK. I'm gonna show y'all something that you could use any controller on. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all sure y'all ready for peak? I don't think y'all ready for peak. This is a BROOK converter, right? These converters, you plug your cable in that usually goes in USB. This part goes in the console and it completely works and converts to whatever platform you want to use it on. So we're going to try this with Tekken 8. Let's talk about wireless mode via iPhone and iOS devices. I am currently using the wireless mode on QRD Maestro S3 on iPhone 11 Pro Max. I'll be honest with you, the latency felt very amazing. You really don't feel any hiccups, anything weird about it. I think they nailed that aspect the most when it comes to this leverless. I have been playing the iOS Delta emulator for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games and DS games currently. I know there are better emulators out there, but this is the one that was just easier access, the one I learned about, and the one I already had in games on my phone. This is my first time playing Tekken Advance, by the way, which was kind of hilarious. I'm surprised how good that game is put together as a little Game Boy Advance game. A Tekken game with like 2 buttons and there's so much depth in it in a way to where you have to do some moves with execution via like 2 buttons. Yes, I hit a electric on the Game Boy Advance, by the way. The travel time between the buttons to the game was really flawless and really good across the board. I don't feel any latency or any problems with it. It's either on par with like the delay of a PS5 controller, if anything, or probably even better, to be honest with you. Okay everybody, I'm using the Qrd Maestro S3 on the Nintendo Switch right now. This is pretty good because the Switch be getting cooked when it comes to fighting games. They be getting left behind. I'm like, how you a niche genre getting left behind on the Switch, but most of the games can't handle or run Switch properly with like rollback and crossplay features, so I understand. If you guys didn't know, if you played this game on a Nintendo Switch or used a Switch console before, you know that essentially A is B and B is A. So essentially on a basic PlayStation controller, which primarily everybody uses for fighting games besides Xbox, A is circle, circle is A. It's essentially like if you ever played a Japanese demo before and the start and X and circle buttons are switched around. That's what happened here. But you can change that on your Switch. The settings, you go to change button mapping, and it's going to turn into a Pro controller. It's going to turn into a Pro controller by default. And essentially you can see right here, I've already changed it. I switched B and A and B to make it more similar or synonymous with the basic setup a leverless usually comes out the box with. Now, I'm playing wirelessly. This is the share button on the Switch is the reset button, just to let y'all know. But essentially the combo will go, That's literally what it is. Simple and clean. Now to say here in Under Night, I really don't feel any delay. Maybe like a 0.1 on wireless, but maybe it's just I just woke up and recorded this, so I could be 100% wrong. But it's little to minimal no delay. I know that's a big concern for people wanting to use this type of leverless in the future. Like, I could pretty much do all the combos. I don't feel like I'm mad delayed. I feel like I'm just playing on, if you play on PS5 pad, this is probably the same experience you're gonna get. Alright, this is the QRD Maestro S3 a month later. I really do love this leverless that they provided for me here. I will say, I do love it a lot. I use it from here times over and over again. This will definitely be a huge staple for portability and travel. This works in all scenarios if you can hook it up, especially without having to use the dock on the Switch. I love this for the Switch alone. It makes me want to experiment with more fighting games on the Switch in the future. My biggest criticism is that the longer you play on it, and if you're trying to practice and learn stuff, I hate small buttons like this. Like, I'm trying to do stuff really fast and having to look down, see if I'm hitting the button a lot or misplacing it, can be very tedious and annoying. Other than that, I'm giving this a solid 8 out of 10. I like the design and the curve of it so your hands are elevated so you don't feel like you're clawing all the way while using the leverless. And the price is honestly a bang for its buck, and this is travel size. This is a little bit above the Hot Taste series leverless controllers and way cheaper than things like Victrix and the Razer Kitsune. Personally, this should be a modern standard version of this. Hopefully they come back in the future with just a cable version, because most people would not care to play anything wireless at all when it comes to fighting games. But this works like a charm, especially if you get a BROOK converter. You can get one of the more premier modern sticks for under 170 bucks. That being said, y'all, if y'all enjoyed this review was hell to do. I went through a lot of problems recording this and life, so just hear me out. Make sure y'all hit the like button and also subscribe for more leverless fighting game news, fighting game updates, and everything else in between that I want to do. It's Avataryaya, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Squala, peace, and I'm out.
Who's next?
Let's see who's stronger.